Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Oh my goodness. We almost did not have a stream this morning, chat. We almost did not have a stream this morning. I have been panicking and running around like a blue-arsed fly, so as they say. We are here, so I'll try and get on with a bit of drawing. But oh my god. It all started last night. When I was playing Valo with Nick. Hang on, let me just change this light. There we go. I was playing Valo with Nick, and we were in the middle of a great game on Sunset. We were doing well. Nick and I had been playing absolutely horrendously all day. And then last night we were playing a really good game. And about 3 rounds in, I suddenly got the blue screen of death. And I lost Nick on the headphones, and it was like, okay, what's happening? I don't understand what's happening. And I couldn't load the computer back up. And I thought the whole thing has died. The whole thing had died on me. And I was like, oh no. I finally got my computer going, thought everything was okay. And then got up this morning, switched it on, everything seemed okay. But then it said that I had no internet whatsoever. Nothing. So I was like, right, okay. So I went through all the troubleshooting things that you can run on your computer to see what was going on, and it basically just said that I was not connected to my router, or there wasn't a cable plugged in somewhere. So we went through everything, and everything was fine. Everything was working fine for everybody else. So I wasn't quite sure what was going on. And hang on, let me just map out this bit. And I went downstairs to Nick and I said, this is what my computer is saying. This is the fault. Can you help me? And so he tried to help me and nothing worked. And so then I said to Jared, has James split the stream signal again? Because he does this. And it was like, no, James has not changed the password or split the stream or anything like that. So it was like, okay. So I went through, I checked all my my cables, my plugs, everything, and everything else was working, but no internet. And I was just like, well, I'm just going to have to go onto Discord on my phone and put a notification up there that there isn't going to be a stream this morning. And so I was sat at my desk, just sort of about to type the message that there was not going to be a stream this morning, when suddenly the internet just suddenly connected to my computer out of nowhere. And here we are. So I don't know how long we're going to last. I don't know what is going on. Morning, Hayley. So yeah, so I don't know how long this is going to last, or if this is going to continue to work or not. But we shall see. We shall see how we get on. So I couldn't do any of my... normally I do my writing right before my stream, so I try and get my 1,000 words done in the morning. I start at about 8 o'clock and I write till 9, and I usually can generally get 1,000 words in that hour. And I couldn't even do that because Word is connected through the internet, and the Google Docs that I sometimes write on is also connected to the internet, and my document was in Google Docs. So I was like, oh god, I'm not going to be able to get anything done. But yeah, it's all fun, right? It's all fun. Right, I'm going to map in these dark areas first, then go in with the cold greys, warm greys, and then I'll go in and darken up these sections again after. So how is everybody? How are you? I hope you've had a less stressful morning than me. I just need to move this up slightly. I'll be able to see what I'm doing. This comes down here. So I'm just using the dark sepia just to lay out where these spots are on the Dalmatian. I'm just sort of trying to also take in the direction of the fur. Right, this fur comes in. This is a section as well, isn't it? Yeah. I started ordering Christmas presents yesterday, chap. It's kind of like I get to the Twinnies' birthday, and then I'm like, right, now I can start thinking about Christmas. I've still got Jack's birthday to go, obviously, but we have to start now. So I just did 1 or 2 stocking fillers yesterday. This bit this direction. Always good to start. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I get a little bit nervous and a little bit twitchy if I feel I've not started early enough. And it just gets, I don't know, it's just a little bit more difficult, isn't it, when your kids are older? Because when they're little, it's really easy to, you know, for them to give them presents because you just get them toys, right? You get them toys, you get them Lego, you get them things like that. And it's really easy. But when they become adults and you're having to shop for adult children, it's just, I don't know, it just makes it really more difficult to have things to wrap. And it's so easy to want to just say, oh, I'll just give you money and then you can buy whatever you want. But I don't know, I want them to have something to unwrap. I've said to you before that my best part of Christmas Day is watching them open their presents. I want to see them be happy at the opening of their presents. And it's just, I don't know, you just don't have that excitement that you used to have when they were little kids. There, if that's there, then that means actually just move that there. Right, so then we have this bit here. The thing with the fur on the throat is that because of where you've got all the folds of flesh and everything, all the fur goes in different directions. So I'm just sort of trying to, I'm getting the direction more than I am the shading at the moment. I just want to know where my dark sections are before I go in with the white. So we have this section coming in that way, we have this section that almost goes out that way and comes down this way, and in the centre we've got a bit that comes down straight. So if you can get fur direction sorted and bone structure, then half the battle is won. So still just using this dark sepia just to map out these dark sections. Not worrying about the length of the pencil strokes or anything like that, because this isn't going to be the surface layer. This is just like underpainting. Right, now let me look at this one. This one is still coming in from the side. So has anyone put their Christmas decks up yet? Because I saw a house yesterday when I took Rosie for a walk, and their Christmas tree was up in their window. And it's like, that's a bit early. That's a bit way too early for me. The Christmas tree goes up after Jack's birthday, which is December 2nd. And I always take the tree down about December 28th, 29th, something like that. I never keep it up into January. I never keep it up into the new year. I'm done with it by then. I'm done. It's like Christmas is over. Get it all down. Get it in boxes. Get it back up in the attic. I'm done with it. I want my house back. Don't like all the mess and the rubbish and the dust that accumulates because you can't clean properly. But yeah, it's kind of frightening when you see people that have already got their stuff up. I mean, all power to them. You know, if they're happy doing that, then great. But I couldn't do it. It'd just be too long. It would just make the festive season way too long, wouldn't it? It's bad enough that I'm having to listen to Christmas songs in the shops already. Goes up on the 24th of December, down on the 27th. Yeah, pretty much, Jamie. If I could get away with that, I think I would. But I think before we had Jack, it would always go up around about the 1st or the 2nd. And then obviously we wait for his birthday because we don't want his birthday to be subsumed by Christmas. So we try and make his birthday separate, so he still gets presents. Because, you know, I always feel sorry for those people who have like birthdays on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or Boxing Day, and everyone says, oh, we'll just give you a combined birthday and Christmas present, because that would be like, no, you don't do that for someone whose birthday is in July or for someone whose birthday is in June. You don't say, oh, it's your combined birthday and Christmas present, unless of course you're buying them something absolutely huge. But it's like, normally you would not combine someone's birthday and Christmas present, and it's not their fault that they've been born, you know, so close to Christmas. So we try and make sure that Jack gets his birthday and he feels that it's his birthday, and that's what we're celebrating. And then once his birthday is gone, it's usually the weekend after that, the Christmas decorations will go up and then come down a couple of days after Christmas, because I'm done with it by then. Right, okay, let's just do this other section here in the middle. I'm not mapping in the folds of flesh on the throat with the dark sepia. I would do that with the greys. I did my line art yesterday for our Friday project, so it seemed to be a bit of a tie again. So I've gone with the one that I really wanted to do. So we will be doing an ink drawing on Friday of the octopus. So I've got my my line art all sorted out. I did that yesterday. It took me ages. After I lost my internet yesterday, mid-game, I was so cross because we were having a good game that I was like, right, okay, whatever. I need to do something else now. And so I printed out the octopus and did the line art, and it was just marking in all of the those little suction cups on the tentacles, the little round suckers. I just wanted to make sure that they were all in the correct place, so I was just sort of lining those up in pencil. My dad used to like the decorations and tree the weekend before Christmas. I'm older now, so the first. Well, exactly. I mean, when you become an adult, you can change any Christmas tradition that you didn't like, that your family used to do, and create your own. My mum always used to be really obsessed with finding something called angel hair. Every Christmas, because we always had a fake tree, but every year she was always obsessed with finding something called angel hair. I don't know if it's called angel hair now, and it literally looks like a cobweb that you wrap the tree in, but it makes the lights go all sort of hazy and beautiful looking, and putting it on the tree was fine. Taking it off the tree afterwards was just a horrendous mess, and you always used to have to throw it away. And then next year would be the obsessive hunt for her to find angel hair yet again. Just go to an angel's barber shop. You see, I knew you was going to make some sort of comment like that. If only it was that easy. If only it was that easy, Jamie. Right, now, this section of the fur is different. So this sort of goes it's almost like it goes up and across. And then sort of points down slightly. I remember as a child myself, because I had 3 older brothers and I was obviously the youngest, and we would wake up Christmas morning and we were absolutely forbidden to go downstairs into the lounge on Christmas morning unless our mum and dad had got up first, and they would lead the way and go downstairs and allow us into the lounge. And but the other rule was that we were not allowed to wake them up. And so, as kids, obviously, we'd wake up quite excited on Christmas morning and want to go downstairs to see what Santa had or hadn't brought us. And so we would hang around on the landing space, sort of outside of their bedroom, pretending not to make noise Our conversation would start off as sort of like whispers. Hey, good morning, Merry Christmas. And like that. And we would sit on the steps, shivering and cold, because it was always cold in our house. And sort of hungry, desperate to sort of have breakfast and go down and see what the prezzies were and everything. But slowly but surely, our conversation would get louder and louder and louder. And David, who was the oldest, who was always like Mr. Sarcasm, would always make us laugh. And we'd laugh really loudly until we started hearing like the noises coming from my parents' room of hearing my dad go, "Oh God, those kids!" I just always remember being like, "Oh dear, they've done it again. They've got us up again." Blah, 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 blah. And he would come out, and he'd always be as grumpy as anything. But we were just like, "Yay, yay! Mum and Dad are up. That means we can go downstairs," sort of thing. And we'd go downstairs and we'd see our little pile of presents, whatever we'd got. But then we weren't allowed to touch them until my mum had had her requisite amount of tea to get going in the morning. And my mum always required at least 4 cups of tea to get going, to be sociable, to want to talk to anybody. And so we would literally sit there, so like biting our nails, eyeing up this pile of presents, trying to imagine what might be in there, knowing we weren't allowed to touch them, we weren't allowed to go near them, we could just sort of look at them. And we had to wait for Mum to drink these 4 cups of tea. And while she was drinking her cups of tea, my dad would be in the kitchen sort of making like bacon sandwiches and stuff like that, and peeling a bit of veg. And we had to wait, and it was the worst wait of my entire life. So we finally got the, right, okay, let's do the presents then. Let's get this over and done with. I don't know why I got excited. It was always the same stuff. I remember I had an aunt, my dad's sister, who every year, no matter what, always got me a tin of talcum powder. And I didn't use talcum powder. And I can remember saying to her one year, "I don't actually use talcum powder, Auntie Pauline." But every year, there it would be, tin of talcum powder. There'd be a pair of slippers, usually a pair of socks, what else? Oh, a selection box. There'd be a selection box. There'd usually be a colouring book with felt tip pens or crayons or whatever. Nothing expensive because we didn't have much money. Right, okay, so I kind of know where all the, you can see where I've just sort of done all those patches, where all the dark bits are going to be on the little doggy. so now I'm going to work on, whoops, let's move that. Okay, I'm just going to work on this shadow that's under the chin here. Right, let me leave that out. So I'm going to work with the cold grey one first of all. And then the warm grey one. And I need my earth green. Just to add that little extra shadows under there. Right. And the warm grey. I'm just adding this a little bit darker under here because this is obviously under the mouth, under the chin, and so there's a darker shadow to work with here. I'm just going to get the warm grey too. Just on this bit. So on the I was going to say on the shelf above, on the lip above. It's just a. Do. Just a little bit of the dark sepia there. I can just see a curl of black. This is the warm grey one. So there are lots of like skin folds and shadows here just underneath this. Under this jaw. Cold grey over the top. I don't mind if I catch some of the darker colours on either side of this and pull it forward, because this is quite a shadowed bit of the dog's fur. No, I want that less so here. Back to the warm grey. Warm grey 1. In with, actually, where's the cold grey 2? No, that's the warm grey. I need the cold grey. Just going over the top of that cold grey too, just to sort of lighten it. And also, I'm just going to put in a layer of white just over the top, just to sort of push those colours together and just blend. Back with the dark sepia now. he's getting splodgy bits. Right, this blob underneath is lighter. It definitely seems much grayer, which is weird because it's actually in the deeper part of the neck, which I would expect to be in more shadow, but in the picture it's grayer rather than black. Also got an element of brown to it, so I think before I go in really deep with the colour on this part of the Dalmatian spot, I am going to put in some brown. So did you all like James's purple hair yesterday? I swear that stuff got everywhere. I actually said to him, I said, don't do it on stream, we'll do it beforehand and then you can just sort of start streaming, you've got purple hair. But he was like, no, I'm going to do it on stream. It was just right, okay. Which brown? I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the burnt umber. Just a little hint of it, because there is a little hint of brown here. I'm just going to go back in again with the dark sepia. That's better. James's hair was so nice, it suited him. I actually thought for the purple that he picked, it looked fine. And it's meant to wash out in like 2 to 3 washes, so it is really temporary. But then when he ran his hands through it afterwards, and it all ended up being on his hands because it was still wet. And it was like, it just, oh my god. I mean, thank god the staining came out of his hands. Because both he and I looked like, you know, we'd stolen a bag of money from the bank and they'd had one of those ink things in it that exploded and we'd got it all over ourselves. But thankfully it came out. But it had a nice smell to it, I must admit. You know, normally if you go into like a hairdressing salon, and hair dye can have such a strong smell to it that I really don't like. But this one actually smelled quite sweet, quite nice. It was almost like candy. So this is just the black that I'm going in with over the top here. There's not too much definition to the fur, but little of the white here, a little bit of the, just make sure, yeah, the cold grey. No, where's the warm grey one? A bit of the warm grey too. Where's the cold grey too? White. Morning, Faisal. Okie dokie. So I think that's where I will probably leave it today. You're sick. You're having a high fever. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Mind you, I mean, yesterday, you know how I said, like last week, Jack was off ill because he had some sort of weird virus. Yesterday, he didn't go into college either because he came downstairs and he sounded awful. He was got a blocked nose, he was coughing, he was hot. So it sounds like, I mean, clearly he's got something again. It's still tested negative for COVID, but it's like he's ill again, and I just think there's an awful lot of bugs going around at the moment. I'm sorry you're feeling sick, Faisal. I hope that you feel better soon and that it's just a 24-hour thing. I think that's the best that we can hope for sometimes, that it passes quickly. But yeah, so don't worry about missing today. I'd rather you rested up and got better. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it today, guys. So all we've done, basically, we did a lot of mapping out of Dalmatian blotches, and then I just started to mark them in and colour them in. So we will carry on with that tomorrow. Maybe get some done on this side of the neck, so that as we work down it's quite balanced, so it looks better. Otherwise it might look a bit weird. And yeah, and then we'll have the octopus on Friday. So thank you all for joining me today. Another lovely quiet one, and I will see you all tomorrow. So if you're feeling rough, I hope you feel better tomorrow. If not, sending healing wishes out there, and yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. So take care, everybody. Bye.